Hello and welcome to the Restricted View. Here we are once again trying to analyse and break down Everton's defeat against Sunderland. I think one of the things for me and one of the things for most Evertonians that I've seen online is the lack of attacking intent, especially from the fullback areas. Now we know Jake O'Brien is not a natural fullback. He's generally a centre-back. He's been playing out of position at right-back and sort of just put in there to plug a gap. We have options. We have Coleman on the bench, who's not been the most fit and the most available over the last few years. However, he seems to be back to full fitness. He played for Ireland in the international break, and he's not really been coming on for Everton. He's not really been getting any minutes even off the bench, which is a whole nother talking point with David Moyes and substitutions. However, Jake O'Brien is probably not the answer. Well, he's definitely not the answer at right back. Now, David Moyes likes this centre-back, tall, big presence in a full-back situation. We can go back to previous David Moyes sides where you can see that same influence. And I remember Joleon Lescott playing at left back for Everton way back, many moons ago. But Joleon Lescott was actually really good going forward as well. He actually passed forward. He would be able to run with the ball. I always remember him making those late dashes into the box, and he actually got quite a few goals from that left back position when he first started. So there's differences there. Joleon Lescott was actually a threat going forward, where Jake O'Brien, apart from set pieces where he is a threat due to his size, and he's already scored some goals, including the offside goal against Spurs, he doesn't really have that attacking intent going forward in open play. And I just wanted to bring a few clips back within the first 10 minutes of the Sunderland game in on Monday night. A few times he receives the ball really early on in the game, and you want him to open his body up and start linking play up with Iliman N'Diaye. Now, Iliman N'Diaye is on the right-hand side for Everton. He's been shifted from the left to the right because of Jack Grealish's arrival. So he's had to find himself a new way of playing, and he really needs somebody close to him to link up with him. Little 1-2s here and there, give and goes. So he's able to make some space for himself, get in and behind the Sunderland defence in this instance, or just the opposition offence in general. He doesn't get that with Jake O'Brien. Jake O'Brien just hasn't got the technical ability and the vision to be able to pick him out and then make the link-up play, whether it's a 1-2 or play a ball in behind. And these examples show that. First, let's look here. We've got control in Sunderland's half. Again, only a minute 50 on the clock. Garner gets the ball in the middle of the field. Tarkowski is really high up the pitch, so it's going to be an easy ball into Tarkowski, who again will look out wide to the right, and Jake O'Brien is there, unmarked. Iliman N'Diaye is more in a central role, supporting Barry, but he will be coming across. So just as we roll this on, and we'll take it really slowly just so we can talk through, Garner receives the ball, he opens his body up, gives it to Tarkowski, and like I say, this is the map of where they want to pass the ball to. Garner is going to feed it into Tarkowski. Ideally, Tarkowski takes one touch out of his body and plays it nicely through to O'Brien. In this instance, Tarkowski doesn't do a very good job. The ball comes into him and he actually takes a really poor first touch. He drags it almost behind him, and in doing so, he allows the time for Sunderland to recover and shift over. So you'll start to see these two Sunderland players highlighted with the arrows move into the space. One will come across and close down Tarkowski, and one will close down Jake O'Brien, who's highlighted here in white. Tarkowski takes the poor touch, it goes behind him, he then has to recover and take another touch, and all the while Sunderland players are getting closer and closer to our Everton players. Here we go, now he takes a touch forward, by which time he actually delivers the final ball into O'Brien. Sunderland are right on top of us. Now all that time spent, a poor touch, not in front of your body, being indecisive and not really playing a first time ball, it ends up with Sunderland being right on top of us. And when the ball does eventually come through to O'Brien, Sunderland are right on top, they intercept the ball and it goes out for a throw-in. Now, if we move on to the next clip, we actually go to the throw-in. Here, Tarkowski is getting some words of advice from David Moyes. It may be have a better first touch. It may be move the ball quicker, more intensity, more pace in the play. But Jake O'Brien's got a perfect opportunity to look forward and deliver a forward ball from a throw-in. Can Barry start to make a move? Can the number 10, Dewsbury Hall, come over and actually make himself an option? Can Garner come closer? Iliman N'Diaye, can there be a bit of movement? I would like to see Barry make a run in behind the defence here. Can't be offside from a throw-in. So let's go long in over the Sunderland defence and just cause a problem. But Jake O'Brien, being a defender, probably not with the greatest vision, actually goes all the way back to Tarkowski. Now, Tarkowski's not in a fantastic position here. He's only been just talking to David Moyes 2 seconds ago. But the ball comes back, throw back, and Tarkowski lets it roll across his body instead of actually putting a foot on the ball and moving forward. And once again, from us having a throw in halfway inside the Sunderland half, we've gone all the way back to our 2 centre-backs, the deepest players for Everton on the pitch. And Tarkowski will, of course, play the ball to Michael Keane across the pitch. And then Michael Keane becomes the deepest Everton player. And really, we waste a good opportunity to move the ball forward. Once again, next clip. Crazy ball forward from Jordan Pickford that finds Jake O'Brien on the right-hand side. I'm not actually sure if the wind took that ball or if it was a really wicked curved ball into O'Brien. But anyway, O'Brien controls the ball. It's a difficult ball to control as he's being closed down, to be fair. But he does control the ball. But right now, if he can control that ball and just look up, he's got options. He's got Garner he can play into the midfield. He's got Iliman N'Diaye who's making a run forward towards the right-hand wing. If he opens his body up, can that ball be played forward? In fact, as we roll the play on, his initial instinct is just to pass back to Tarkowski once again. And once again, from a kick from Pickford, should be all the way up to get Everton advancing into Sunderland's half. The ball, in about 30 seconds, has just gone all the way back to its original starting point. Tarkowski plays the ball, and we all know where that's going to go next. Another example of Everton bodies inside the box, in an attacking intent. We're passing it round. Garner tries to find Barry. Barry has a shot. It's blocked. And the ball comes back out to O'Brien. Now it's a bouncing ball and he's got some work to do here. But let's look at the bodies inside the Everton box. We've got 6 players in and around the Sunderland box here. If O'Brien can control this ball and put the ball back into the box, we keep the pressure on and we keep putting pressure in the early moments of this game where it's still 0-0 onto Sunderland. We roll the play on. O'Brien, to be fair, deals with the bouncing ball. He doesn't deal with it fantastically because he doesn't put a foot on the ball. He just lets it bounce. And in doing so, plays it all the way back to Tarkowski once again. Now, if he put his foot on the ball there a little bit earlier, he could have opened his body up, turned on the ball, and maybe put a ball back into the box. Maybe found a run. Maybe found N'Diaye who'd make a run to the right-hand side. But in doing so, it goes all the way back to Tarkowski. Tarkowski then takes a touch. Tarkowski, to be fair, finds James Garner. He plays a forward pass. Garner from there plays the ball back out wide to Jake O'Brien. And from there, you want to move forward again. In this instance, James Garner actually wants the ball back. We roll the play on. Tarkowski plays it off. A one-time pass from Garner over to O'Brien. A little bit behind O'Brien, but he's still got the ability to take a touch and look forward. He's got options. He could play a ball into Barry and where N'Diaye is into the centre, maybe a long ball, or he could look for that run on the wing. Now here, James Garner is starting to make that run onto the wing. He makes a move. He actually points where he wants it. Jake O'Brien can see this. He's looking straight at Garner. He knows he can play a ball down that wing. James Garner makes the points where he wants it, play the ball, but already O'Brien's made his mind up. He's looking backwards at this point, and he plays the ball back to Tarkowski. Now look at James Garner's reaction. He's saying, what are you doing? Why are you not playing the ball forward? It was an easy pass. He plays it back. And O'Brien sort of acknowledges this. He sees Garner. He looks round. He looks round. He takes a look at James Garner. And he puts his hand up as to say, I know, I probably should have played it forward there and I've played it back again. Okay, so maybe you're looking at me and saying, it's the first 10 minutes of the game. What do you expect him to do? He's a centre-back. Let's have a look at the pass maps. And now this is the pass map for the entire game. I've highlighted 2 players, Mykolenko and O'Brien, both fullbacks. You will see from Mykolenko, again, Mykolenko's not fantastic. I'm not saying he's the answer at left back either. But his pass map is a lot more positive than O'Brien's, especially when O'Brien is in this area. As you can see throughout the game, we're talking 52 minutes, 30 minutes. the 3rd minute that we've seen, the 21st minute. When he's getting the ball in Sunderland's half, we're trying to progress, and that's when we want to play the ball forwards. Time and time again, the arrows are going backwards. He's always looking back to Tarkowski. He just hasn't got the confidence. Is it a confidence issue? Is it a vision issue? Is there no movement in front of him? And you can actually say, you know what, O'Brien, we feel your pain here, mate. You know, you didn't have the options there. I think he did have the options. I think I've proven that in those 2 clips I've just shown. He's constantly passing back. And you can also see how it's impacted in our crosses. Now, we're always a team where I love Everton teams where we get loads of crosses inside the box. We've got a striker who's 6 foot odd, whether that be Barry or Beto, the big lads. Okay, so let's get some balls inside the box here. On Monday night against Sunderland, we hit 5 crosses from the left-hand side. As you can see, we've crossed the ball a number of times from the left-hand side. Those have come from Dewsbury Hall, Jack Grealish, and James Garner. So 5 crosses from the left-hand side in the entire match. Again, it's not enough. It's really not enough. We should be crossing the ball a lot more. And we'll look at that again in a further video. However, 1 cross all game in open play. And that's come from James Garner, who played at right back for the last few minutes of the game. Here in injury time, it was an unsuccessful cross, but he's put a cross in. No crosses from Jake O'Brien whatsoever. No crosses from N'Diaye as well on the right-hand side. N'Diaye's more linking up play with Barry, moving into central positions. But we've just got no right-hand side. On the flip, look at Sunderland's crosses in the game. Huge amount of crosses from both sides. That's what we want our Everton teams to do, to be attacking, to getting balls in the box. Right now, we've got no right-hand side whatsoever. There's no progressive passing. There's no crosses coming in from that right-hand side. We're so one-dimensional. You know, if we're going to get any joy out of the game, generally, it's going to come from the left-hand side. Okay, Everton scored 1 goal against Sunderland, and it sort of did come from that right-hand side. However, it was from Iliman N'Diaye and Barry. Barry there jostling for the ball. Iliman N'Diaye took it on his own, dribbled, and made what a sweet finish it was. But from the full-back positions, there is no attacking intent, especially the right-hand side. Now, what do we do to correct it? So I'm urging David Moyes on Saturday against Fulham, please make a change. Take Jake O'Brien out of right back. Still play him. Play him as centre-back, if you will. You know, James Tarkowski's form has not been fantastic recently. Maybe put Jake O'Brien there, partner him up with Michael Keane. But let's have another solution at right back. Let's look at Seamus Coleman. Let's look at James Garner. You can't tell me Tim Irabunam can't play centre midfield with Garner Gay. He absolutely can. And what about Marlon Roll? He's looked promising every time he's come on. Let's give him a start. Let's start changing this up. Let's get some more forward passes from the right-hand side. Let's get some crosses inside the box. And let's start supporting our strikers. Our strikers are not scoring goals. But looking at this, they're not having many opportunities. Yeah, Barry had a great opportunity against Sunderland and he should have scored. But let's create more chances. And let's do that by attacking down both wings. Really attack and play, good link-up play, forward passes and crosses inside the box. Let's hope we do that on Saturday, and we'll review it again next week. We'll look at who starts at right back. Does James Garner or Seamus Coleman play at right back, and how does that change the team? We'll look at the data behind it, and we'll put some clips together and look at it together. Please do hit the like and subscribe button. It really does help the channel. This is The Restricted View. Thanks for watching.